I'll talk to you later.
How do you know?
I'll ask around again tomorrow.
Thank you.
Inquisitor, it was amazing. Sorry, slow down. Your quartermaster outfitted me, and I got trained to hunt the bandits near my home, in your name. I hired Voss here. Don't tell anyone. He's a mage. A good one, though. Thank you for trusting me, your worship. I'll pay you back, I swear.
Good work.
Yes. Won't we, Vol?
I hear Vachelle was good pay for the Inquisitor. Time to go see if my friends came through too. Got a location for a stash. Hopefully something nice for my trouble. Well, your trouble. Just let me know when you're ready to head out. Be sure to bring your empty pockets.
I'm ready if you are.
Always, yeah. My favorite part, this. Let's go see what friends can get.
Cleanup. They do send cleaners to work on vacant properties, but 8 had been empty for so long, I don't think they always bothered. I hadn't actually been to the Starlight Estates in a long time. I was sort of hoping it would look better than I remembered. Frankly, it looked worse. It still looked like a dried-out gray mouth full of rotted teeth, but the really disturbing part was how empty it was. I expected there to be music playing from inside somebody's house, or friendly neighbors mowing their yards.
Wait, this is weird.
I expected to see children
I was
playing,
expecting a village or something.
but I saw
People
nothing.
that leave me stuff don't
There
check
wasn't
out
a
places like
human
this.
being
Give
in
me a
sight
city and I'll give you a
anywhere.
tour, but surprise,
It was an
surprise,
early
I have no
afternoon
idea
in
what's
late
real.
July, so
What's
it
that?
was
Don't
unnatural for it to be
Harmon
this
made me
empty.
do it.
When I parked my car in front of the grate and turned the radio off,
Right.
I was struck
Things
by
have
the
gone
complete
south,
silence.
as they do.
It was a summer's
No,
day, but I
no,
couldn't hear the
it has to
sound
go
of
right or he'll kill me
sprinklers
for the
or
marching. It
lawnmowers.
wasn't my
I
fault.
couldn't hear the
You were the
slightest
one with the rumor out of Vachelle.
from
My
anywhere.
friend.
You're
I
her.
stared at the
You're
houses
the one
across
he's
the
waiting
empty
for.
tarmac road. I couldn't
She's
see
here.
into any
Red
windows as
Jenny.
all the curtains were closed. All the driveways were empty. I hadn't actually seen a single car parked anywhere on the estate. The driveways were left exactly as before. Just smooth gray cements with patches of synthetic grass. If there were any occupants, they certainly hadn't had personal touches. I shuddered as I unlocked the door. I didn't know how anyone could see anything here. The eerie feeling didn't go away once I was inside the house. Every home on Starlight was painted in only black, white, and gray. The lack of color was strange.
Hold on.
and
I was
oppressive.
not aware
As if
the
I'd stepped
Inquisitor
into
was
an old
personally
black and
involved.
white movie.
This is a tragic
There wasn't a lot of
misunderstanding.
furniture.
Let's all
Only a
sheep.
sofa and some tables. Bland paintings hung on the walls. The kitchen was a similar gray with dark counters. At least the coffee machine was still there. As I started to make myself a coffee, I heard a floorboard creak behind me. It had been so quiet that this single creak sounded like an explosion. I turned around to see the closed kitchen door. There was another creak. Something was in the other room.
Swords, you walk out and we'll conduct this like
Now, I'd heard
business.
horror stories
Don't
about
believe he
realtors
hit
coming
back.
into houses
He
to find somebody
started.
living there. I considered what I might have to do if there was an
There.
intruder.
That wasn't so hard, was it? We
3
identified the
knocks rang out
confusion,
from the other
and
side
we
of the
worked
door.
past it.
Maybe
I'm
it
Lord
was just someone else from the
Pelham.
company, I thought.
I do
We all
hope,
had
Inquisitor, that
keys
you
for the
continue
estate.
to respond to reason.
Hello?
After all, your choice
I
of
called
company
out.
is hardly virtuous.
A folded
Freaking
piece
user
of paper
you are.
drifted out
Another
from under the
local
door,
prick who
and I
thinks
heard
he's down.
footsteps moving
We're the
away.
same, you and I.
I got
Well,
down
that
to
is
examine the
extent of it,
paper.
you are Nothing
It was
like
a
me,
note
but
written
we
for me.
both need people.
This is what it said. Dear
Talk
Doug,
now, but Sarah is my
I didn't
ally.
mean you any harm.
You attacked her
I hope
friend.
I didn't scare you.
Come now.
But I'd like you to know the
Meddling
rules of
costs
staying
money,
safe
because
in number
apparently
8.
you were complicit.
Number 1,
Honestly,
Don't lock the door from the inside, or you will never be able to get out again. You might not believe me, but I cannot stress this enough. Do not lock the door from the inside. Number 2,
Arse biscuit.
there is a TV in the second floor bedroom. Please have this on at all times. You can turn the volume off if you want, but make sure there is always something on screen. 3, if you're walking down the stairs and there's an intruder walking up, stand your ground and let them look at you. They will then leave you
Something
alone.
in Vashel, Harmon.
Number 4,
Was it?
do not leave mirrors or photographs of people in the house.
Always seeking that.
Number 5,
By getting people
keep the
hurt.
shutters down over all windows.
Lady Shell, Morveau, and I
And
were
number
just looking
6,
for the land south
do
of
not
Rochelle.
keep any
Claim that
glass
you
in
must
the house.
calculate it.
Now
My
this was
people
really strange.
encouraged hers
I
to
suppose
leave.
maybe one of my colleagues
people
was playing a
answered
joke on
in
me,
kind.
since I was the one selling the cursed home.
Terribly standard displacement.
That was
until
the
your
only
troops
thing that really made
seemed
sense,
to
I
change
guess.
the balance.
I couldn't really imagine that a stranger would go to so much trouble.
Really, just stop it.
All the same, I couldn't stop looking at the list of rules. Something told me I had to follow them,
servants you killed,
even though they seemed so
They did nothing
absurd.
except talk about what was
I
going
felt
on.
like something
You killed
bad
my
would
contacts.
happen if I
My
broke the
friends.
rules.
That is, in
The
time.
shutters were already down. We
That
always
could
keep
be
them
that
down,
then.
unless there's a showing.
You're the one who
I didn't
empowered
plan
them,
on
made
bringing
that
any
complaint
mirrors,
threat.
photographs, or glass
You
into
should
the
have warned
house.
them
That wasn't a problem. I thought about locking the door.
No already. Not
Maybe
saying
I should have.
again.
But the thought of being trapped in here made me nauseous, so I wasn't willing to risk it. All
Now
the
what
Starlight
was the point of
houses had a small TV in one of the bedrooms, so we could play something during open houses. I was set on turning it off, no matter what that piece of paper said. It seemed like a complete waste of electricity keeping it on. When I went up to the second floor bedroom, the TV wasn't playing the news or any boring
This
daytime
point you're
TV.
making wide.
Instead,
That makes it
grainy
worse.
CCTV footage was displayed on
Better
screen.
than his lot any day.
It showed the kitchen with the words Room 2 printed along the edge of the picture. There was a tiny feed beneath it showing every other room in the house, including the bedroom I was standing in. I picked up the remote and flicked through the different rooms. I thought about the list of rules and realized that I could probably find out who left it if I rewound the footage. I clicked on the living room and pressed rewind.
Hey,
I
you-
watched myself
you know what?
walk backwards
Thanks.
through the living room.
Felt good to stop the smile off
And then
that
it was
kid's
empty.
face. It
I
doesn't get
began to
back like that
rewind
often, you know.
further
But when it does,
when I
they
saw
deserve it.
someone. A strange man had made his way through the living room after I'd gone into the
Risky,
kitchen.
but keep it within the
I
Inquisition.
couldn't make
and
out
our
much of his
support.
face
Even
as
though
the
there's
camera
nothing
was
around
pointed
us.
towards the top of his head.
Even so.
I could only tell it was a
Well,
man,
good then.
and that his hair
Right,
was a
what do you mean?
light
Because
color,
I am
maybe
really not
gray.
used to that.
I was
Except
sure he wasn't anybody I
you
worked
doing
with.
right there.
The man lumbered along slowly, with his
We'll have
arms
some
hanging by his
differences,
sides.
but I want to be one of your
I
friends.
moved a little closer to the
You're pretty big to
monitor
be one of my
and squinted.
contacts. Important, I mean, not
His
fat.
feet weren't
But
pointing
alright,
in the right
Inquisitor.
direction.
You're on my good
I
side.
realized
We'll see
that
what
he
the
was
plan is.
literally lumbering to the kitchen door backwards. When he reached the door, he took the note from his pocket, laid it on the floor, and pushed it under the door with the back of his heel. Then he lumbered out of the living room, disappearing into the hallway. I wondered how this man got into the house,
Your worship,
and if this guy was a stranger.
certainly.
How the hell
What
would
can
he
I tell
know
you?
my name?
Have you had any other?
I needed to check the
There's the
footage to
time
see
of
if
the
the guy
spiders.
was still inside.
Don't really have
I
a story
clicked on the
about it.
hallway where the front door was, and no amount of
Your
rewinding
worship.
showed him leaving.
Nothing jumps out at me.
My heart
If I have
sank a
any
little,
ideas, I'll let you know.
realizing this stranger was still in the house.
How's it going?
I checked the footage of every room in the house, but I couldn't see him. He had to still be here, hiding away in some secret corner. I took a photo of him on the monitor and texted it to my boss. John can be really funny about calling the cops on a property. If any of us find something vaguely illegal and we dare to bring it up, he'll lecture us about how dangerous it is to have police cars swarming around a house you're trying to sell. I tried my best to explain the situation to John and waited for a response. John replied fairly quickly. Yeah, come on, I'm sure it doesn't mean any harm. He said, you should go to the neighbors and ask if they've lost anyone. They might know what to do, you know. There's a family living at number 4, ask them. I went downstairs and left the house, walking into the strange, silent world outside. I could see number 4 across the street.
You can alter someone's beliefs.
The house was so cold and devoid of personality. It would be a stretch to imagine anyone living there. All the same, I went out and knocked on the door. And as expected, I didn't get any response. I felt for the keys in my pockets. I had keys for houses 1 through 10. If there really was a family living here, they would have changed the locks, but I decided to try my key. When I turned the key, the door unlocked. It swung open, and I started to cough as a cloud of dust came out of it. I'd always been told that number 4 was occupied, but this place looked completely abandoned. Inside, the house was pitch black, and none of the lights would come on.
I can't imagine that was
I turned the flashlight on my phone towards the light switch and saw that cobwebs had grown all over the walls. And then something scuttled past my feet. A roach, or bigger. As I walked further in, I noticed that there were some personal touches.
They're prisoners.
There were photos along the staircase. Family photos. One of the photos showed a young man on his graduation day. Another photo showed a couple on their wedding day. Both of them with their hair done up in outrageous 1980s styles. That was when I started to get this bad feeling. The house had been occupied.
Figured I'd rough it with you savages. Anyway, nice talking with you.
There is a rumor being circulated. I find it hard to credit, but it suggests you and Dorian are
What?
romantically involved.
Yes, I suppose it's true.
I must admit I am a little surprised.
I don't see why.
True enough. It is your business, and I will leave it at that.
May I ask you about the
It is difficult to see. They have no Templars, no leadership, and no one left who is worthy of succeeding the Divine. It has fallen apart when everyone needs it the most. I ache to think what this will mean in the days to come.
Do you really believe the Chantry is worth preserving?
If you ask my opinion, it is. Absolutely. Cast the Chantry aside and new problems replace old ones. We will have learned nothing from history. The people need stability, and the Chantry needs a new purpose. Andraste had a dream for us. It can still be achieved.
So what should that new purpose be?
A dedication to what is truly important. Instead of building cathedrals and sewing gowns for the Divine, the Chantry used to spend its coin feeding the poor. If we are to spread the Maker's word across the world, we must do so with open hearts and open hands.
That sounds rather idealistic of you.
Does it? I do not think it's so unachievable. The Chantry has many good, honest people. They just need direction and inspiration. They need to be freed from centuries of adherence to tradition and ceremony. A chance for renewal is at our fingertips. It does not have to come with utter chaos.
Will the Chantry replace Divine Justinian?
They will try. Once the priests withdraw for the Grand Consensus, it is against Chantry law for them to emerge without naming a new Divine. Sometimes it takes days, or weeks, or even months. The problem now is that no clear successor to Justinia exists. All worthy clerics died with her at the Conclave.
So what happens if they can't agree on someone?
Theoretically, they will argue until exhaustion takes them or they see reason. Practically, however, if the grand consensus goes on too long, the Chantry will crumble. Any cleric with ambition but little sense will see this as her one chance, and plenty of such clerics exist. We shall see what happens. The Inquisition must act in the meantime.
If they do choose a new divine, will you serve her?
That depends on whether she would have me. I am a rebel now, remember? And even if she would, I do not know. It would depend on what type of divine she is. I am no longer in a position to follow blindly, and no new divine could expect such obedience now.
I'm surprised you rebelled against the Chantry.
I left my own order when they took the wrong path. It is no different. But in neither case did I stop caring. Indeed, I care so much that I feel drastic action is necessary. I suppose history shall one day judge my actions.
Thank you.
Has there been exchange? You're not bad. Gifts. Perhaps betrothed. Oh, very romantic. Vicariously.
Need something?
Can I ask you something, Varric?
You want to talk about me? I'm flattered. Thank... No... Need something?
What can you tell me about this Corypheus?
I'm not exactly an expert, but ask away and I'll answer what I can.
He looks like some sort of blighted creature, but he speaks. What is he exactly?
The wardens who imprisoned him thought he was just a darkspawn. But you heard him ranting. He claims he's a magister. One who assaulted the Golden City, what, more than 1,000 years ago? It seems crazy, but if he's telling the truth, he's one of the people who caused the blights.
How did you first encounter him?
Well, a few years back, I was dealing with some trouble from a Carter clan that went rogue. They were sending assassins after the Hawk family. We tracked them to a rune in the Vimarks. It turned out to be a trap. Once you went far enough into the rune, there was a magic barrier that kept you from going back. The whole thing was a prison the Grey Wardens were using to hold what they thought was a powerful Darkspawn.
You and Hawk both said before he was supposed to be dead.
He was dead. We killed him. The only way for us to escape the prison Corypheus was trapped in was to go through him. We weren't going to just leave the door to his prison open behind us and hope he was dead. We made sure.
How did you first encounter him?
Well, a few years back, I was dealing with some trouble from a Carter clan that went rogue. They were sending assassins after the Hawk family. We tracked them to a rune in the Vimarks. It turned out to be a trap. Once you went far enough into the rune, there was a magic barrier that kept you from going back. The whole thing was a prison the Grey Wardens were using to hold what they thought was a powerful Darkspawn.
I've never heard of Wardens locking up Darkspawn. Why wouldn't they just kill him and be done with it?
I don't think they could. From what we saw in there, Corypheus can control Wardens somehow. They couldn't attack him. The Wardens locked him up because there was nothing else they could do.
All right, I think that's enough about Corypheus.
No problem.
Flower motif, I think.
If I hear one more Fuller called a blood groove.
Where is the urchin? I require the services of the urchin!
This is a special one. For Cabot. I'd appreciate if it was first on your rounds.
It's out of the way. It's out of the way.
Where's my other hand? Right there.
So I'm thinking...
Nothing to report, sir. Yes?
The raged demon in the caves is dead, as you commanded.
I had no doubts. Now that my sovereignty has been respected, I can depart this unchanging nightmare. Your reward. Use it well.
Inquisitor. If only all the spirits were this easy to get rid of.
What do you mean the mayor's gone?
A letter of confession from the mayor. It says he was the one who flooded Old Crestwood 10 years ago, to stop the blight from spreading.
He drowned them? In the muck? Oh, Mayor is having an arrow for tea.
It's monstrous, but if it stopped the blight from wiping out the entire village...
What a sad mess. Will the...
Oh, Maker, hear my cry. Your worship.
I've already found the remains of the people who died in Old Crestwood.
Acid Andraste. I didn't imagine you'd look yourself. Thank you for your thoughtfulness. It is all too rare these days. I will prepare the bodies for cremation.
Reldon has faced enough Darkspawn for a lifetime. 10 years passed, and you can still see how the Blight haunts this country and its people.
away from the water, I'm feeling seasick already.
lost 3 shipments. It's still rough out there.
We're heading back. We're back in the winter.
You always say we're back to the winter.
Who do you think makes it happen?
Did you learn to hammer?
you finished the recipe for the recipes? All done with the tedious?
I have and I am.
Then I have a question. Would you leap with me out of this car and prove the eye is surrounded by fire?
I'm ready. I'm ready to commit to this path.
Well, well. Everyone batten down. I'm about to teach your Inquisitor how to play. Now we have some fun.
Finally, a place for... The horses. I forgot about the Ferelden horses.